Hello everyone, it's Chip Boaz, and it's time for Jam! Yes! Oh, I love a good shred session. Let me grab my axe and you can bang away on the E string and I'll jam out. No. What do you mean? I thought we were gonna have a jam sesh. No, it's time for Jam, Jazz Appreciation Month. Oh, that's boring. Not at all. It's the one time of the year when we can shed light on all things jazz. It's great. Wow, you're such a poser. Hey, what do you mean? I thought you loved jazz. Why don't you love it all year long? Why do you need a month for it? I think you're missing the point. I do love jazz. If you love it so much, why don't you marry it? Okay, that's enough of you. He does have a good point, though. Why do we need a month to celebrate jazz? Jazz is an underserved genre of music. I mean, I love jazz, and I bet a lot of you out there really love the music. But I think we're in the minority. Let's think about this. Streaming is the dominant way that people listen to music in this day and age, right? And Spotify is the most popular streaming service right now. So let's look at the way that jazz gets streamed on Spotify. Personally, I use Apple Music because they pay artists slightly better. I mean, not that much better, but better. So I looked up how much jazz was listened to on Spotify. I found a few different results ranging from about 0.5% to 0.8%. I'm going to be an optimist. Let's go with 0.8%. So if we're going to do math, that means that for every 100 songs streamed, people streamed less than one jazz track. Let's do numbers that make a little more sense and maybe sound a little more optimistic. For every 1,000 songs streamed on Spotify, 8 of those songs were jazz tracks. Win! But maybe not, because that's not that many songs, right? 8 out of 1,000, that's just not much. And let's look at what songs were actually streamed. So I'm gonna run down the top 10 streamed jazz songs on Spotify. Just looked them up. This is April 2024. Let's start with number 10. Just the Two of Us by Bill Withers and Grover Washington Jr. Now that's suspiciously not jazz. Number 9, A Night to Remember by Bia Badu B and Lave. Okay, I don't even know what that is. Let's go on. Number 8, Don't Know Why by Norah Jones. Okay, I know back in the 90s, this song and this album was a big deal, and Norah Jones was saving jazz because she was on the Blue Note label. But I'm gonna be honest, I'm just not sure if this is jazz. Number 7, Fly Me to the Moon by Frank Sinatra. Okay, I'll take that. Number 6, Something Stupid by Frank Sinatra. All right, Frank must be talking about this list. Number 5, What You Wouldn't Do for Love by Bobby Caldwell. Great song, but what I wouldn't do for some jazz right now, right? Let's run down the top 4. Valentine by Lave. Falling Behind at number 3 by Lave. Number 2, Goddess by Lave. And number 1, From the Start by Lave. That's a lot of Lave. Is Lave jazz? That's a topic for another video. Out of these 8 streams, for every 1,000 streams, that's what's being played. That's questionable, in my opinion. What about Miles? What about Monk? Or modern artists like Christian McBride or Chris Potter, who just released new albums that are really great, by the way. Why aren't they one of those 8 tracks being streamed? It's thought-provoking, right? And this is why we need Jazz Appreciation Month. Jazz Appreciation Month was created by the Smithsonian Institution in 2001 to shine a much-needed light on jazz, and it's something that has been celebrated every year since then. On their website, the Smithsonian says that jam is intended to stimulate and encourage people of all ages to participate in jazz, to study the music, attend concerts, listen to jazz on the radio and recordings, read books about jazz, and more. This is a celebration, and yes, it's for musicians, but it's really for everyone. Everyone can and should take a minute during April to celebrate the music, or at least connect with the music in certain ways. The Smithsonian does a great job of encouraging us. Every year, Jam recognizes one musician as a spotlight on the greats of jazz. This year, they're celebrating Duke Ellington in celebration of his 125th birthday. Duke was a true innovator and legend in jazz. He made incredible contributions to the music, and really, this is a great opportunity to recognize him. Jam sees the bigger picture, too, about how jazz connects with all the arts. The Spotlight artist always gets an incredible poster like this year's poster from Leroy Neiman. Pretty cool, right? In addition to this, the Smithsonian offers a ton of resources about jazz on their website. Everything from literature on Ellington to their oral history, recorded interviews, pictures from their museum collection, and more. They hold concerts throughout the month of April, which culminates in an all-star show on April 30th, which is International Jazz Day. There's educational resources for teachers, interactive listening activities, and more. If you're into jazz, you're curious about jazz, or you just want to dip your toes in the water, it is a gold mine to check out. Most importantly, there's a bunch of suggestions for ways that you can celebrate Jazz Appreciation Month, right? I mean, just saying the month is special is one thing, but actually doing things is another. And I think it's really important to remember that the smallest thing makes a huge difference. You don't have to change your life, change your listening habits, change the way you look at the world to appreciate jazz. So let's check out a couple of the things that the Smithsonian suggests for Jazz Appreciation Month. For parents, they suggest watch a jazz documentary film or a performance on YouTube with your kids. Visit a local jazz expedition, a jazz museum, or historic jazz site with your kids. Read a jazz book or poems to your kids, or get them a jazz book for their reading level. Lots of cool things. Or for fans, follow your favorite jazz musician on social media. Maybe me. Seek out new jazz music, musicians, albums. If you've already got a favorite, share it with your friends and your peers. There's so much you can do. Everything makes a difference. those are some suggestions, but it's just a start. There's so many ways to celebrate jazz. And I think we should take that opportunity during April. So can't we all celebrate jazz during the month of April? I mean, take a minute to think about it. Some of the things that we put our time and energy into celebrating during the year. National Polka Dot Day on January 19th. National Margarita Day on February 22nd. National Barbie Day on March 9th. National Sunglasses Day on June 27th. And let's not forget, National Fried Chicken Day on July 6th. If you can take a minute to take a selfie of yourself in your sunglasses and put together a social media post to celebrate National Sunglasses Day, can't you take a few minutes to listen to some jazz during the month of April? I think we should all do it, and I think it's an important thing to make an investment in. So I ask you, what are you going to be doing during the month of April to celebrate jazz? Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to talk about it and see how everyone is investing in this awesome music. I'm going to be out in my community playing jazz several times during the month of April. I'm going to be teaching about the music in my teaching job. I'm going to be creating several videos about jazz during the month of April to help spread the word. Thank you for hanging out with me today and talking about jazz, everyone. If you made it to the end of the video, please look below and subscribe so you can see everything I've got coming in the near future. I'm going to be sharing more videos about jazz. I'll be doing more of my walking bass tutorials as well as some of my original music. I can't wait to share it with you. Thanks, everyone. I will see you soon.